Welcome back, dear students. Hope you all are safe at home. Shall we rewind the previous class? Okay, let's go. What we learned in the previous class? Yes, I introduced you a beautiful poem. Am I right? So, what's the title of the poem? Yes, very good. First, showers. Who is the author of this poem? Yes, Nalini Sharma is the author of the poem First Showers. In the previous class, I told you to recite the poem. Am I right? Hope you all recited the poem. Students, now I'll recite the poem once again. All of you listen attentively and identify the difficult words. As I returned from my workplace, cool drops kissed my parched face. Soon the first showers caught me unawares and socked me, soothing my frayed nerves. The very lines did it promptly erase of day-long heat and fatigue from my visage. Wet clothes clung to my body like an infant to its mother's bosom, unsteady my gait. The dusty trees stood bathed in an instant, dressed in washed green, looked magnificent. The scented earth resplendent in dampened glory, sucked in dust, giving respite to the travelers weary. To thank the rain god, I looked up in the sky. More drops drenched me on the sly. Marveling at this wonderful gift of nature, I hurried home wading through the gurgling water. Students, hope you all marked the difficult words. Am I right? So, shall we discuss those words and their meanings? Okay, let's go. Parched means dried out with heat. Shower, rain. Unawares, without being aware of the situation. Soaked, extremely wet. Soothing means having a gentle calming effect. Frayed means worried. Weary, feeling of extreme tiredness. Promptly means immediately. Fatigue, feeling of tiredness. Visage, a person's face. Clung means hold on tightly to. Gait means walk. Magnificent, extremely beautiful. Resplendent means brilliant color or decoration. Dampened, make slightly wet. Respite, relief. Drench means soak. Sly, acting in a dishonest way. Marveling means wondering. Wade, walk through the water. Gurgle, the sound of water. Students, hope you all understood the meanings of the difficult words. Didn't you? Okay. Shall we analyze the poem in detail? Okay, let's go. The poem First Showers is a wonderful depiction of nature's ability to heal. Human beings live in a cruel world which is so selfish that it does not have enough time to take care of the worries of others. We forget to give comfort to our fellow beings who struggle to live. There are many people who work hard to make two ends meet. In the poem, we find a woman who is returning from her workplace. She is unknowingly caught in the first showers which soothes or give comfort to her like no one else. The poet Nalini Sharma describes that cool drops kissed my parched face. The expressions like parched face, frayed nerves, fatigue, weary lines, etc. suggest the amount of tiredness of the lady. She then describes that the rain soaked her and soothed her nerves, washed away tiredness from her visage or face, etc. Toward the middle of the poem, she uses a beautiful simile. Wet clothes clung to my body like an infant. While reading the poem, we get a feeling that the woman might be a worker of a factory or so who is returning home after her tiresome work. The poet then diverts our attention to nature. We then realize that nature itself was waiting for the rain to come just like the woman. The expressions like dusty trees stood bathed in an instant, washed green looked magnificent, the scented earth resplendent are enough to understand the effect of rain upon nature. We have heard the expression, I asked for a rose and you gave me a garden. Just like this, as the woman looked up to thank the rain god, she says more drops drenched her as the slide, creating a thrilling sensation. The poem ends by the woman wondering what an awesome gift is rain. Students, hope you all understood the explanation of the poem. Am I right? Now, shall we discuss the activities based on this lesson? Okay, so all of you take page number 138. Look, activity 1. Complete the table given below. A table is given here, including 2 columns. First column includes explanations and the second column includes expressions or lines from the text. Look, the first explanation. The poet's face was dry. Students, now can you identify the expression for this explanation from the poem? All of you read the poem and find out. Yes, very good. Parched face is the expression that gives the explanation. The poet's face was dry. Now look the second explanation. She got soaked in the rain. Now all of you find out the expression for this explanation. Yes, soaked me is the expression for the explanation. She got soaked in the rain. Now look the third one. She was tired. Students, find out the expression. Yes, frayed nerves is the expression for the explanation. She was tired. Now look the fourth explanation. The heat and fatigue made her weary. Identify the expression. Yes, very good. The weary lines did it promptly erase of day-long heat and fatigue from my visage. This is the expression for the explanation. The heat and fatigue made her weary. Now look the fifth one. The trees were wet and beautiful. What's the expression for this explanation? Yes, dressed in washed green looked magnificent. This is the expression for the explanation. The trees were wet and beautiful. Now look the sixth one. The poet stood in wonder. Can you identify the expression for this explanation? Very good. Marveling at this wonderful gift of nature. This is the expression for the explanation. The poet stood in wonder. Students, now all of you look the last explanation. Read it. Yes, the poet returned home. Now identify the expression for this. Yes, I hurried home wading through the gurgling water. This is the expression for the explanation. The poet returned home. So hope you all understood the first activity. Am I right? Now all of you write these expressions in your textbook. Now all of you look activity 2. Read the lines. Wet clothes clung to my body like an infant to its mother's bosom. Here, the clinging of the wet clothes is compared to an infant clinging to its mother's bosom. This is an example for a simile. Now, develop similes from the following hints. Students, all of you do it yourself. This is a homework for you. Look this. Go through the following sentences that contain similes and metaphors. Classify them. Students, can you classify these sentences on the basis of similes and metaphors? Before doing this activity, let's know about simile and metaphor. Simile. Simile is a figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind. Now, what's a metaphor? Metaphor is a figure of speech that directly refers to one thing by mentioning another. Students, hope you all understood about simile and metaphor. Now I'll help you to do the first two sentences. Look, the first one. Manu is as hungry as a horse. Is this sentence a simile or a metaphor? Yes, this sentence is a simile. Now look the second one. The car was a jet when it passed by us. Students, now tell me, is this a simile or a metaphor? Yes, some of you are telling the right answer. This sentence is a metaphor. Students, now it will be easy for you to identify the simile and metaphor. So do it yourself. This is a homework for you. We will meet in the next class with a new lesson. Thank you, dear children.